Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming, and I have been your host for exactly 5 years because I am today making this video in celebration of the 5th anniversary of the Chap's Guide, because I launched this channel and published my first video on the 31st of October 2019, and I find it absolutely mind-boggling that 5 years have passed. It's gone in but a fleeting moment, so it seems, and I have to say it was one of the better decisions I ever made. Although, like many good decisions, it came as something of an accident. But today I'm going to talk about my 5 most watched videos on the channel, and the reason I'm going to do that is because they are fundamentally diverse in the themes and the subjects which I talked about in those videos, and actually it gives us some idea about the direction in which men's style, lifestyle and life choices have changed over time perhaps, and where they're going in the future. As I say though, it has been an enormous pleasure for me going on this YouTube journey, starting it as I did as a 49-year-old gentleman, and as I said, something of an accident, because I started the channel as an experimental project. I was actually involved in a charity. The charity sought to set up a YouTube channel, and I decided to take charge of that project, and I set up this channel as an experiment to see how YouTube worked. I knew very little about YouTube at the time, so that experiment is the Chap's Guide.
Hello and welcome to the Chap's Guide. If we haven't met before, my name is Ash Jones, and this channel is all about me using my half a century of life experience and sharing that with other chaps already.
The channel which I set up for the charity ran its course. It was then retired after a year, but the Chap's Guide has persisted over 5 years. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to share with you the highlights of the 5 years. But firstly, I'm going to give you some of the overall channel statistics so you get an idea of where the channel is and where it's been going. So up to this point, and as I film this, it is the 27th of October. So it's a few days before the actual anniversary of the channel on the 31st, but I think you'll get the picture. At this point, there have been 8.3 million views of this channel. So 8.3 million people have logged on, viewed one or more of my videos. That equals a total watch time of 871,100 hours of watch time. That equates to 36,300 days, or 99.5 years of people watching material on this channel. We have now, as of today, total number of subscribers 77,321, far beyond anything I ever expected when I began. And I'll share with you the financial revenue for the lifetime of the channel. Up to this point, this channel has earned £33,201.94. Now bear into account that's been over 5 years, and that's taxable as well, so you will work out that it doesn't actually amount to a great deal of income generated from a YouTube channel. So for somebody to go a professional YouTuber and make this their job, you know, you've got to be operating in the millions and millions of views, and I would suggest subscribers as well. So I am going to take this opportunity now to talk to you about the top 5 videos that I've ever published. Now the first one is one on a subject which I particularly like, and it is a watch video. And in November of 2020, I released a video called Buying a Rolex Watch. This was the 5th, at this point, most viewed video that I have ever produced. It has been viewed 111,670 times. It has been watched 8,500 hours, which is 300 days of being watched. It has generated for the channel 695 subscribers, and it has earned the revenue of £363 for the channel. which is £3.25 per 1,000 views. It was the first video which I produced on this channel which made over 100,000 views, and it really told of my buying experience of buying this watch. A watch which I still happily wear every day at this time of year, and it is a Rolex GMT Master 2 root beer model, the CHNR. This video came out at the height of the Rolex buying frenzy during the global pandemic, when lots of people decided they had money to spare, they weren't working, they weren't going on holidays, there was perhaps more money washing around in their accounts, and they wanted to buy things they could enjoy at home. People started buying expensive wristwatches, Rolex being a very prolific brand, and so lots of people targeted them and couldn't buy them. And I was fortunate to buy this watch after only a 5-week wait, when I think they were much more in demand perhaps elsewhere around the world. The video was mind-boggling for me. It changed a lot for the way I approached the channel. Up to this point, very few of my videos had actually gone over 1,000 views. So to have a video which went over 100,000 views, 111,000 views today, it's not watched at all today. It's one of these videos which existed in a brief moment of time and its relevance disappeared. But it boosted me enormously. It made me sort of redouble my efforts with the channel. It sort of inspired me and motivated me to continue with YouTube, when perhaps after that year of being a YouTuber, I had just literally become monetized. So, you know, I had 1,000 subscribers, and I was able to generate income through the ads which you see on the videos. Just become monetized. I had this video, it generated, you know, a couple of £100, but it was enough to give me that kick up the backside to keep going. Otherwise, I might have thought, well, there's not much, you know, reward for the effort in YouTube. I'll perhaps look elsewhere for a hobby. So that was my first 100,000 video, and it is the 5th most viewed video. My 4th most viewed video, totally different niche, and it was 3 ways to tie your cravat or ascot. I released that in May 2021. As of this moment, it's been viewed 115,000 times, 6,500 hours, which is 270 days. It has generated for the channel 1,200 subscribers, and revenue-wise, it's created a revenue stream of £402.60, which is £3.51 per 1,000 views. An unexpected hit, really, for me on the channel. It has been a steady performer since I released it. It's what they call an evergreen video, because it's a how-to. Because people who are perhaps trying to wear a cravat or an ascot for the first time, they will type into YouTube how to tie an ascot, and my video will be suggested, and as a result, you know, it still gets hundreds of views every day or so. So it's a good long-term video which brings in a little bit of money, small amounts of money. Of course, when you add up, there are many, many, many videos there or thereabouts. So they're all bringing in this little trickle of income, which you know, adds to the overall revenue of the channel. And its secret is it's practical. It simply shows you how to wear a cravat or ascot, which in itself is kind of a dying item of clothing, but clearly it's still quite popular, so people go looking for it. And I think it's on our conversation about the way people dress these days, and what the videos that I've released which have been heavily viewed tells me, is that cravats are still there. They are a slow burner, but people still wear them from time to time. Now, ironically, I rarely actually wear a cravat myself. Personally, I love them, right? Cravats and ascots. However, my wife cannot stand them, and she refuses to go out with me if I'm wearing a cravat. So the fact is, I only get to wear one when I'm going somewhere on my own, and the stylishness of that situation dictates I can get away with one. But it's a great video. I'm glad I made that one, 3 years ago, and I'm glad it is still bringing assistance to people to this very day. I'm sure it's being viewed right now by somebody who wants to wear a cravat somewhere in the world. Now, my third most viewed video of all time, and I think this will go on to become my most viewed video of all time, given a bit more time, because I only released this one in July of 2023. It's another how-to video. It is how to iron a shirt. At this moment in time, it's been viewed 226,100 times, which is 18,500 hours of being watched, 771 days, 2 years basically. It has generated more than 3,000 subscribers for this channel and generated 1,100 British pounds in income, £4.81 per thousand views. And again, it's an evergreen video because it's one of those videos which people will always go to discover how to iron a shirt. And I have this image in my mind of men who perhaps have grown up where their parents didn't teach them how to iron a shirt, or whatever their situation in life is, they wear t-shirts all the time. But an occasion happens in their life where they need to wear a shirt. They go looking on YouTube, my video is suggested. It is viewed over 1,000 times every 24 hours at this point. And the message that I take from that really is that there is clearly a lack of people out there who can iron a shirt, that they have to go looking for a tutorial on how to do that on YouTube. So it's interesting. Of all of the how-to videos I've produced, I imagine this is the one which will outlive me, as shirts will need to be ironed long into the future, and the skills of men on how to iron for themselves seem to be going backwards. So it's an interesting video in the journey of men's lifestyle because it tells us something about the way men live their lives. My second most viewed video of all time is called Oliver Wick's Suit Made to Measure Review. I released it in May 2022, and it is essentially a review of the Oliver Wick's Made to Measure suit buying journey. Now, Oliver Wick's contacted me and asked me if I would be prepared to experience their suit making process for free. They made me the suit, didn't pay me anything. I wasn't, financially incentivized to talk about the suit. I had no commission. I didn't get paid to do it. They simply gave me the suit as if I was a customer. And the only thing was I didn't have to pay for it at the end. They gave me a code to put in at the end, so I had the full customer experience with no ameliorations for the fact that I was reviewing it. And because of that, I agreed to undertake the process. All right, because if it was anything other than 100% transparent and independent in nature, I don't review things on the channel. I rarely review things on the channel. So this was, a sort of early exploration into reviews. This video has been viewed 238,000 times, which equates to 28,500 hours of being watched, which is 27 years of people watching it. Amazing. It's generated only 153 subscribers, and it has only generated £101 because it makes only 43 pence per 1,000 views. Predominantly because it's named a product, so other advertisers are not going to be seeking to have their adverts in front of a product or a review of a product which isn't theirs. And I did enjoy that suit building experience with Oliver Wick's. I still have the suit in my wardrobe, I still wear it. It is actually of excellent quality, and I enjoyed the suit building process on their website. I can't really argue with it. It's still in rotation. It's a great quality suit. It was, I think, around about £1,000 worth of suit, so you would expect it to be very good. But a lot of people watch that video. Many hundreds, thousands of people watch that video every week, and I hope it's gone on to help them make a personal decision whether or not to buy a suit through that route or to look elsewhere. My experience was positive. Now, the grand finale here. The #1 most watched video that I have ever made. And it was called 5 Military Habits to Learn. And I released it in October of 2023, so a little over a year ago from where I sit now. And it by far outperformed any previous video that I ever made. Bearing in mind, my number 2 most watched video had been watched or viewed 238,000 times. My most watched video had been watched 738,000 times. Over three quarters of a million there or thereabouts. That equates to 57,400 hours of being watched, which is 2,391 days. Subscribers have been generated for the channel, 20,700. Revenue, £2,000 at £2.60 per 1,000 views. So it's not a big earner, but you know, it's been one which has obviously piqued the interest of many, many people over the year that it has been active on the channel. It's not watched so often these days because it is not a how-to video. People don't tend to go looking for material like this. It's something which has perhaps slipped into abeyance now. It gets watched every so often by a few people, but it has no momentum anymore. And it was a totally unexpected hit for the channel. Basically that day I went up into the woods and I had written notes in a notebook, and I was going to talk about things like leadership and esprit de corps and things like that. But when I got up there and I read my notes, I thought, no, this is not what it's all about. And I literally spoke off cuff when I spoke about the 5 things which changed my life through my 10 years of military experience in my younger adult life. And I just spoke from the heart, spoke very genuinely and authentically, without any notes. I don't use scripts on my channel anyway. I just tend to speak from notes which promote my thoughts. And it was a really big surprise for me when it took off. It went up through the roof. And, you know, it's one of those videos you only get one which does this sort of performance maybe once every few years, but it is enough to generate loads and loads of new subscribers, people bringing energy and momentum and questions and comments to the channel, which injects new life and interest not only in the channel, which, you know, it's an amorphous thing. It injects energy into me, because I'm the sole guy here who, you know, produces the content, films the content, edits the content. So when I get interest like that, you know, it helps me stay connected to what I'm doing and continue the dialogue with my subscribers. Since then, I've done 1 or 2 videos similar to that, where I've talked about other things like men's style and the military life and other things I've learned from the military. But nothing has ever captured, you know, the zeitgeist like this fellow did. And I'll be grateful for this one forever, because, you know, it really elevated my channel in one video to, you know, a channel which was kind of in the doldrums of mediocrity to getting a bit more momentum. And it has retained that momentum, I'm pleased to say. So, 5 years have passed. What does the future hold for the Chap's Guide channel? How do I feel I've reached the end of my journey? You know, I'm now 54. I've talked about most things I think I can talk about here on the channel. How many times can I keep talking about pocket squares and ties and things like that? Well, actually, no. I don't feel the momentum is coming to an end. And the reason I say that is because far more than ever before, the content I create on the channel is generated from you. The number of people out there who send me questions or even drop comments into the videos, it is almost at the point where I am totally overwhelmed. I get so many comments now, so many emails from folks, and I am so grateful for them, but unfortunately I can't always answer them all. I can assure you I read every single comment, and I will read every single email which comes into the channel, even if I do not have the time to pen or write a response directly to that individual. You can be assured that I have read it, and if I can possibly assist, I will respond. And many times the questions I get end up becoming videos on this channel, exactly like this one, because I was dropped a question by one of my subscribers called John Parnell. You know who you are, John. He wrote to me and said, why don't you do a video celebrating the 5th anniversary of your channel? Here it is. So I do directly respond to the people who contact me. And this is an example of that. There will be many more diverse and broad topics as we go forward, not just ties and pocket squares and the whole tweedy thing which many other YouTube channels descend into, repeatedly talking over and over again. Of recent months, I have become very much more interested in almost being an agony uncle to people. I'm Uncle Ash, you know, the guy who's lived a life, and I can give you my observations on some of the conundrums which you face in your life. And I encourage people to write to me, ask me a question, be it sartorial or lifestyle in nature, or on a broader subject around human life itself. You know, a lifetime of serving in the military, being a police officer, a charity worker, all of these things, a married man, a father, all of these sort of skills which I have accumulated, as we all do. I'm no different to you, but I have the opportunity sometimes to use those skills to reach out to people and help them on their life journey, become something of an online mentor to you. And that's where I hope the channel will continue to go as we ply forward on our inevitable journey to Chap Nirvana. So there we go. Thank you for joining me in this somewhat self-indulgent video today. I apologize for that, but I thought it was valuable to mark the 5th year anniversary of the Chap's Guide channel, primarily to thank you for your support, your patronage, and I look forward to continuing to serve you in the years ahead. So until the next time we meet, good sirs, take care, and I will see you again very soon.